Most people think the world is mostly still. Look around you right now. Your phone seems still. The floor seems still. Your body feels still. Even the room feels quiet, calm, unmoving. It feels obvious. It feels like common sense. But what if I told you that this feeling is completely wrong? What if I told you that nothing you have ever touched, seen, or believed to be solid has ever been truly still, not for a single moment? That sounds dramatic, I know. It sounds like a trick, but that's exactly the kind of statement that should make us curious instead of defensive. Because whenever nature contradicts common sense, nature usually wins. Think about how we decide something is moving. A car moves because we see it change position. A clock's hands move because we notice the shift. But what if movement exists even when nothing seems to change? What if motion is happening in ways our senses were never built to notice? Your senses are wonderful, but they are also lazy. They evolved to help you avoid danger, find food, and survive, not to understand the universe. So let's slow down and ask a simple question, the kind of question a child might ask. If everything feels still, why does nothing actually stay the same? Take your own body. You feel solid, continuous, like a single object. But your body is not a thing, it's an event. Cells are dying and being replaced, blood is flowing, signals are flashing, heat is escaping, air is rushing in and out. Even the shape of you is changing as you sit there, tiny movements correcting balance without you noticing. You are not a statue, you are a process. And that idea, that reality is not made of still things but of ongoing activity, is one of the strangest and most beautiful truths science has uncovered. Let's make it simpler. Imagine a busy city intersection viewed from very far away. From that distance, it might look calm, just a gray patch on the map. But zoom in, and suddenly you see cars, people, bicycles, lights changing, sounds, chaos. Nothing is actually frozen. The stillness was an illusion created by distance and limited resolution. That's exactly what's happening with the universe. When you look at a table, you see a solid object. But that solidity is not stillness, it's balance. It's motion arranged so perfectly that it pretends to be calm. The universe is very good at pretending. And this is where things get interesting, because once you start pulling on this thread, everything unravels in a fascinating way. The earth feels still beneath your feet, yet it is spinning faster than most airplanes ever fly. It's also racing around the sun, and the sun itself is moving through the galaxy, and the galaxy is drifting through a larger cosmic structure. So even when you're lying perfectly still on your bed doing absolutely nothing, you are participating in multiple motions at once. Spinning, orbiting, traveling, all layered together. You are never just here. You are always on a ride. Now here's the strange part. Even if we somehow froze the Earth, stopped its spin, halted its orbit, and paused the entire solar system, which we can't, you still wouldn't be still, because stillness doesn't exist at smaller scales either. Inside every so-called solid object is relentless activity. Not chaos, but motion held in delicate patterns. Tiny components buzzing, vibrating, colliding, rebounding. Not because they want to, not because they're pushed from the outside, but because motion is their natural state. Stillness is not the default. Motion is. We like to think something needs energy to move, and rest is what happens when energy runs out. But the universe plays the opposite game. Things move unless something stops them. And even then, they never really stop. They just move in ways that are harder to see. That's a deeply unsettling idea if you think about it. It means the calm you experience is not absence of motion, but harmony of motion. Like an orchestra tuning itself so perfectly that the noise disappears into music. Now, let's pause here and ask something philosophical, because science without reflection is just bookkeeping. Why does this matter? It matters because we build our worldview on what feels obvious. And stillness feels obvious. Stability feels comforting. We like the idea that there are fixed things in the world, fixed truths, fixed objects, fixed foundations. But the universe doesn't share our emotional preferences. The universe says everything is in flux, and stability is a temporary agreement between moving parts. That's true for atoms, it's true for stars, and it's uncomfortably true for ideas. Think about a spinning top. When it's spinning fast, it stands upright. When it slows down, it wobbles and falls. Motion creates stability, not the absence of motion, motion itself. Life works the same way. Relationships work the same way. Even knowledge works the same way. Stop moving, stop questioning, stop adjusting, and things collapse. Now, here's a wonderful irony. The faster things move at small scales, the more solid they appear at large scales. The table feels solid precisely because its interactivity is so intense and balanced that it resists intrusion. So solidity is not stillness. Solidity is organized motion. That should blow your mind a little. It means the universe isn't built from rigid bricks stacked together. It's built from dances, from patterns, from rhythms that persist, long enough for us to name them. A mountain is not a thing. It's a slow process. A rock is not permanent. It's just changing at a speed your lifetime can't detect. Given enough time, everything flows. And time is the key villain here. We confuse unchanging during our lifetime with unchanging. But the universe has no obligation to operate on human schedules. What feels eternal to us is often just very patient motion. Now let me admit something, because honesty matters more than authority. We don't fully understand why motion exists at all. We can describe it. We can measure it. We can predict it with astonishing accuracy. But when you ask the deepest why, the universe shrugs. And that's okay. Not knowing everything is not a failure of science. It's its engine. What we do know is this: motion is not a disturbance of reality. Motion is reality. Stillness is the special case. And once you really accept that, it changes how you see everything. You stop asking, why is this changing? And start asking, why does this stay the same for so long? That's a much better question. Why does a pattern persist? Why does order emerge from motion? Why does chaos sometimes organize itself into stars, cells, minds, and meaning? Those questions don't make the universe smaller. They make it richer. And maybe that's the real lesson hidden in all this spinning and vibrating and flowing. The universe is not a machine that occasionally moves. It's a story that never stops being told. You are not a static object passing through time. You are a moving pattern inside a much larger movement. And the moment you stop expecting stillness, the universe stops disappointing you. Because now, instead of asking for certainty, you start appreciating balance. Instead of demanding permanence, you learn to admire resilience. Instead of fearing change, you recognize it as the only thing that was ever guaranteed. So the next time you sit quietly and think nothing is happening, remember this. You are on a spinning world in a moving system made of restless parts, inside a universe that has never paused, not once since it began. And somehow, out of all that motion, here you are, thinking, wondering, asking questions, which might be the most beautiful movement of all. Now, once you accept that everything is moving, another strange thought sneaks in. If motion is everywhere, why don't we feel dizzy all the time? Why doesn't the world feel chaotic? Why does it feel so stable? This is where our intuition really betrays us. We think stability comes from stillness. But in reality, stability comes from balance. Like riding a bicycle. When the bike is standing still, it falls. When it moves, it stays upright. Motion creates order. The universe uses the same trick everywhere. Inside what you call a solid object, countless tiny motions cancel each other out in just the right way. Push from one side, and something pushes back. Try to squeeze it, and it resists. Not because it's frozen, but because its internal motion is already busy doing something else. It's like trying to clap your hands in a crowded room, where everyone is already clapping in perfect rhythm. You don't stop the motion. You just join it. This is why the universe feels solid, even though it isn't still. And here's the part that feels almost philosophical. If everything is motion, then what is an object, really? An object is not a thing. It's a habit. It's a pattern that keeps repeating itself long enough for us to give it a name. A chair is a habit of matter. A rock is a habit. Even your body is a habit, a very complicated one, constantly repairing itself so the pattern doesn't fall apart. Stop the motion, and the habit disappears. So permanence is not guaranteed. It's negotiated moment by moment. That should make you humble, because it means the universe doesn't promise anything will last. It only allows things to continue if the motion supports them. Now think about time. We experience time as a line, past, present, future. But motion doesn't care about our mental timelines. Motion just happens, and because it happens continuously, change becomes unavoidable. You cannot have motion without change, and you cannot have reality without motion. So change is not something that occasionally interrupts life. Change is life. This is why attempts to freeze things, ideas, systems, beliefs, always fail eventually. The universe refuses to cooperate with anything that demands stillness. Even stars are not eternal. They burn, they pulse, they wobble, they die. Galaxies stretch and collide. Space itself expands. The entire universe behaves like something that cannot sit still even if it wanted to. And maybe that's because stillness would mean nothing is happening. And if nothing is happening, nothing exists. Existence requires activity. That's a shocking thought if you take it seriously. It means being is doing. Now here's another uncomfortable realization. If everything is always moving, then certainty becomes suspicious. We love final answers. We love conclusions. We love saying, this is how it is. But the universe keeps whispering, only for now. Even our best explanations are moving targets. They improve, adjust, evolve. Not because they were wrong, but because reality is deeper than any single description. And that's not depressing. It's liberating. It means curiosity never expires. You don't reach the end of understanding and hit a wall. You reach a bend in the road and discover there's more. Now let's bring this back to you, because all good science eventually points back to the observer. If everything is moving, then you are not behind reality watching it like a movie. You are inside it, participating in it. Your thoughts are motion. Your emotions are motion. Your decisions are motion shaping other motion. You are not separate from the universe's activity. You are one of its expressions. That idea can be frightening or comforting depending on how you look at it. Frightening because there is no absolute still place to stand. Comforting because you are not broken for changing. You are doing exactly what the universe does best, moving forward. And here's something beautiful, because motion allows mistakes. If the universe were static, errors would be permanent. But because everything flows, errors can be corrected, paths can be adjusted, patterns can reorganize. Motion is what makes learning possible. That applies to atoms, it applies to stars, and it applies to you. So when you feel restless, uncertain, or in transition, you're not out of alignment with reality. You're aligned with it. The universe is not calm because nothing moves. It is calm because movement finds balance. And balance is dynamic, not fixed. That's why the most dangerous illusion is believing that things must stay the way they are to be safe. Nothing stays the way it is. And somehow everything continues. That's not weakness. That's strength. We'll take this even deeper in the next part, because once you realize nothing is still, the next question becomes unavoidable. If everything is moving, what is it all moving toward? And that question opens a door that never really closes up to. Now, we've been circling one unsettling idea. Nothing in the universe is still. Not atoms, not stars, not space itself, and not even the ideas we use to explain it all. Everything is moving, changing, adjusting, finding balance for a while, and then finding it again somewhere else. So the question almost asks itself, if everything is moving, what is it moving toward? Most people expect there must be a destination, a final shape, a finished picture where everything settles down and rests. We carry this idea because our minds like endings. Stories end, movies end, lives end. So we imagine the universe must be heading towards some grand stopping point. But the universe has never shown any interest in stopping. What it seems to care about is continuation. Motion does not need a goal in the way we think of goals. A river does not flow because it wants to reach the ocean. It flows because flowing is what happens when water and gravity exist together. The ocean is not a purpose, it's a consequence. In the same way, the universe is not rushing toward a final answer. It is behaving according to its nature, and that nature is change. Once you accept that, a strange calm can settle in, because it means the universe is not failing when things fall apart. It's not broken when structures collapse. Destruction is not an exception to the rules. It is part of the same motion that builds things in the first place. Stars are born because matter moves and squeezes together. Stars die because matter keeps moving. Galaxies form because motion organizes itself. Galaxies tear each other apart because motion does not stop being motion just because something beautiful appeared. Creation and destruction are not opposites. They are two faces of the same process. That should change how you look at loss and how you look at fear. We are afraid of change because we mistake motion for chaos. But the universe shows us that motion can create extraordinary order, just not permanent order. Nothing is meant to last forever. But many things are meant to last long enough for atoms to meet, long enough for stars to shine, long enough for life to notice itself. That might be the most astonishing thing of all. Out of all this restless movement, something appeared that can ask questions about it, something that can wonder why anything exists, why it moves, why it doesn't simply vanish. You are not outside this story. You are one of the ways the universe becomes aware of its own motion, and awareness itself is not still. Thoughts come and go. Ideas evolve. Understanding deepens and then breaks apart and deepens again. So when you ask for a final explanation, the universe doesn't give you one, not because it's hiding something, but because a final explanation would be a lie. A frozen answer in a moving reality is always incomplete. This is why honest science never sounds finished. The more deeply you understand something, the more careful you become about claiming certainty. Not knowing everything is not a failure of the human mind. It is a reflection of the kind of universe we live in, a universe that keeps going. And maybe that's the real lesson hiding behind all this physics. Meaning is not something you arrive at. It's something you participate in. You don't stand still and wait for truth to land on you. You move with it. You revise it. You live inside it. And that's why the most important question is not whether everything is moving. It clearly is. The deeper question is whether you are willing to move with it, or whether you will cling to the illusion of stillness and call it safety. Because nothing in the universe is still. And somehow, despite that, or maybe because of it, everything that matters manages to exist, at least for a while. And perhaps that is enough. Perhaps motion itself is the answer we were looking for, even if it never stops long enough to say it out loud